It's been a couple of weeks since I've gone out and made a photograph. If you live in the state of California and are a photographer, we got some big news today, which we'll talk about later on in the video. Today's plan is to drive 40 miles south to the Golden Coast, where I'll try my luck at a spot I've always wanted to photograph. With a bag full of camera gear, film, and lunch, it's time to make the journey. Adventure awaits, y'all. I told you this was gonna happen. Woo, look at this tree. All right, gang, so this is what we drove about 40 miles for. What I really want to see is actually up on those rocks. It's going to be another maybe 5 to 10 minute hike, and then I guess that's where we will start our video today. Alright guys, so we made it to our little spot here. I thought climbing over this rock there was going to be something on the other side, but it turns out it's just a cliff. So literally right now, folks, I'm laying literally on almost like a 90-degree vertical wall, trying to hold myself steady. But the camera is set up right now in a very kind of not so sturdy position. And yeah, so this is Marshall Beach, also known as to some of the locals, the Nude Beach. I had to turn off the GoPro halfway of the walk throughout just because, you know, a lot of booty out there. But yeah, I scouted this spot out a couple of weeks back during quarantine, and some of you guys are probably saying, man, you know, why aren't you inside? Well, the California governor actually released a new statement with a list of a bunch of outdoor activities that are approved during quarantine, and one of those is outdoor photography. So folks, that's what we're doing. But the plan is, folks, is to do some long exposures. I have my Pentax 6.7 along with my new 55mm lens. I'm holding the tripod right now. And as you guys can see, straight down to our right here, we have this nice rock line and then just a beautiful Golden Gate Bridge. Unfortunately, the sun is still kind of high. And if you look over the Pacific right here to our left, we have the Pacific Ocean. I packed Portra 400. But let's see how this goes, man. I'm just gonna get started. I don't know how much talking I'll be able to do. The composition was too good to pass up. The two standing at the end and the guy with the stick just made for a beautiful scene. I know, I'm supposed to be shooting landscape photography, but this tree photography lives inside of me. Hey bro, can you do me a favor? Can you take a picture of me up here real quick? Thank you bro, appreciate it. Good? Hey, that's my Instagram photo. I appreciate you bro. found the composition I was looking for and started bracketing my shots. First without the ND, then with the ND on, and also considering reciprocity failure. The first shot at 1/500th was, typical, but I wanted to see that rushing water smooth out, and in the second exposure at 3 seconds, I got just that. The rocks paving the way as a foreground for the grand gesture known as the Golden Gate Bridge made for this beautiful coastal view. The water was silky, but not extremely smooth, and everything was working for me, except for the light.
Oh, holy, all right, that was a little scary, not gonna lie. I got this photograph of this bird flying straight towards me. I don't know if I got it, but we'll see, man. What a day for photography. Bye, guys. Alright, bro, fuck it. Fuck it! Can I go through this way? Woohoo! Thank you, brother. My feet are soaked. My pants are all wet. But my spirit is alive. That's all that matters, folks. Damn it, I should have brought a towel. All right, gang, so we got off the beach, man. I gotta tell you, I'm hungry, but I got some food in the car. I'm probably gonna fuel up before we get to the next spot. But just look at how beautiful, man, this little area is. If you guys are ever visiting San Francisco, this little stretch of area is called Baker Beach. Again, Marshall Beach, and if you want to see some nudes, keep going down. But that's the plan, man. My feet are soaking wet. Got a bunch of like sand and wetness and shit going on. All right, let's go to the car really quick. All right, man, so we made it back to the car, and whew, I am beat. I'm about to empty out my boots and then have some lunch before we move on to the next spot, because man, I am beat to the bone. But I'll tell you what, man, San Francisco is just one of those cities where you can go see downtown life if you'd want to, and see the busy hustling streets, and you drive about 10, 15, 20 minutes out and you're in a white sand beach paradise with a beautiful view, beautiful ocean, and just beautiful weather, truly. So if you guys are ever wanting to visit somewhere in the US where it's completely different, check out San Francisco, man. I love it. As I mentioned earlier, folks, I am starving, I'm haggard, I'm hungry. We're gonna make a quick stop after we eat lunch, and we're gonna check out Sutro Baths. I'm probably not gonna hang around there for too long, but truly what I'm gonna try to do is wait for the sun to set, and when it gets dark, we're gonna go over to Mel's Drive-In, which is a drive-in. Damn, that's a big B. Whew. We're gonna go to Mel's Drive-In after we eat lunch. Oh, shit. All right, man, that's it.
Starting route to Sutro Baths. Head west on Pershing Drive, then turn left onto Lincoln Boulevard. The destination is on your right. Sutro Baths.
Woohoo! Clutch! Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of handhold the X Pro 2 and just carry it around just to see, you know, if we have anything to photograph on our way down. But at the same time, I'm going to kind of scout some spots out. This was more of an afterthought. Marshall Beach was definitely the first choice, but I thought, you know, maybe we'd hit this spot too and see what's going on here. So let's go explore around a little bit. Let's go make some photographs.
This stretch of area is called Sutro Baths. And my mission here is to photograph a rock formation sitting right dead center in the Pacific Ocean, but it's only about 200 yards out. Now the perspective I want to photograph this from is down on the beach. And before you get down there, there's this huge viewing deck with one of the most relaxing views of the Pacific Ocean I've ever seen, especially during sunset. I made a couple of photographs here later on in the video, and they turned out to be some of my favorite from the day.
I've seen pictures of it before, but I want to just do my own little version, man. So let's give it a shot. We're gonna set up the 6.7, try some long exposures. I'm not sure how well it's gonna be, but look at that, man. That is beautiful.
And here is the famous rock formation. My setup is still the same: Portra 400 55mm lens with a 10-stop ND. Now I made a conscious choice to submerge my tripod in the water, and the main reason for doing this is to make sure that there is no visible dry sand in the foreground. I wanted to completely fill the bottom of the frame with water, and because this was a longer exposure, I thought it'd just look a lot nicer and a lot more clean. And here is the initial exposure. This was a very good start, but it's not exactly what I had envisioned. Something I didn't tell you guys in the beginning was the shot that I had envisioned for this rock formation was a panoramic. And so after a bit of cropping, here is the final result. This looks much better to me. A sense of isolation with the calm water surrounding the rock formation, making for a dreamy yet lonely photograph. It's the only thing you can see on the horizon, and it almost makes the rocks look more grand. Surprisingly, this turned out way better than I expected, and man, do I want to make a print out of this. And that just about wraps up this photo adventure to the Golden Coast. Thanks for joining me. I plan on making a part 2, breaking down each of the photographs that were made, also talking about some film and some technical details behind the photographs. If you'd like to see more of my work, you can check out my website, KingJvpesphoto.com, or follow me over on Instagram at KingJvpes. Thank you again for joining me on this photo adventure, and I'll see you in the next one. Minolta gang.